farm. I'm going to have the buggy running, so sorry about that in the background. But as you know, I kind of let the farm go into go mode, if you will, or quiet time after I plant my fall food plots. So those food plots have been planted about 2 weeks now, and I just had to put some rye on and do some stuff because we went through a drought right after I got them planted. But we're going to talk about today, guys, is, like I said, I got the, so to finish that, I've got the machine running for that reason. Is if I'm out here on the farm doing anything, I'm letting that buggy run. So if something happens to a camera, if I'm out here filling feeders, out here like I'm doing today on the shot plots that we're going to talk about, I'm letting that thing run, and it just muffles the noise. If you got to run any tool, do anything to the blinds, anything like that, just a really good practice. You'd be shocked at how much this actually covers your sound. So don't have the wireless mic on today. Just decided to do this when I was out here on the farm, so I apologize. So what we got going on today, guys, let's talk about shot plots, and kind of as an overall, not giving up on the food plots in general, but let's talk about the shot plot and the power of the shot plot, having a successful shot plot. So what you see here, guys, behind me, we've got a clover and chicory spot shot plot here. So this is yes, the blind is on it, but there's, like you say, there's the shot plot and then there's a food plot. So this shot plot here is, we got HD screening in front of it, and then we've also got the HD screening that divides the food plot, if you will, divides the food plot from the shot plot. So there's a wall that you can see right through here that goes all the way down, that divides that from the food plot. So that blind, during a gun season, you can actually see the food plot, but I can get in the back door of this shot plot right here, right along the edge. This is an old pond that I took the water out of, pond levee right here, and this whole deal, you can see more HD screening in the back. I've got all of that, a trail mode right to the back door of that. So on the salvaging the food plot side, what you can see here, guys, is I had a test on this, and what I did, so bringing that to you, what I did is, this was actually a pretty good stand of clover all summer. I went through the drought and it was struggling a little bit, but I usually only run my clethodim, which is my grass killer, on them, and they just got a lot of, you can see some pigweed and stuff like that that set in, right? And so I did a test. I heard that you could do it. I was a little torn between what was right or what was wrong, but I put my 2,4-D for the broadleaf and in with, at the same time, my clethodim. I wouldn't recommend it. It's here, and it killed everything else, and it really set everything back, don't get me wrong, but it stressed the clover way too much. So, but what I like to do is this, guys. I go into my shot plots. I've actually got 4 here on the farm. Really blessed to be able to do that. So it allows some great early season hunting, just the way that the farm lays out and the way I was able to put it together. Some farms have 2. Some farms have a shot plot that's on the end of a food plot, like mine are. Some have a bullpen, interior woodlot shot plot, whatever that case is. A shot plot is something you can hunt and get away from, right? Small. What I do, guys, with the rye is I come in here the first week of September, weather dependent. We got rain. We had rain last night. We got more rain coming this afternoon. And what I do, depending on the size, I run about that 100 pounds, 150 pounds, 100 pounds, something like that, of the rye per acre. So do the math on what yours are. Mine are like 2/10. So I run about 25 pounds on them, 25 to 50 pounds, depending on how strong my clover is or something like that in those locations. Cereal rye, just soak them down. What that does is it comes up, your clovers are already established, let's say, right? It comes up and it acts as a nurse crop. You'll find it's very attractive. So why not put it in front of these blinds, right? Why not have it in front in a shot plot situation? It comes up, they're actually nursing on that, they're eating the rye, and your clover is able to rebound. So right here I have a stressed clover plot. That's why I'm putting the rye in it. And because of the drought, it's not as strong this year. Now this one looks bad compared to a couple other ones, but the way that the weather's been, they're just struggling. They're just not the powerful clover plots that they could if we get some really good rains and good, during a good growing season in the spring. And this thing in the spring, the turkeys would get lost in it. It was a foot tall, beautiful. It actually had chicory in it at that point, and ended up taking the chicory out of it for spring reasons. But I just mainly like to focus on the clover in my shot plots. Way easier. There is a product, I guess IMOX, I guess you could spray clover and chicory, but it's very expensive. So if you can afford it, by all means, you can have a great clover and chicory plot. But what I like to do is, I'm finding that I like just the straight clover more. But don't overlook the power of that rye in your shot plots, guys. The power of rye saving your food plots, the power of rye just having it in your food plot blends to begin with, and putting it on the shot plots here. And it's just a green carpet come season. 2 weeks from now, we open up next weekend, obviously, but here a couple of weeks, it's just a mat of green, nice vegetation. And so what I do is I put that on here, right? I have that in here, and then what I'll do is I'll let that run all fall. It'll come up, and it makes an unbelievable turkey. Sitting in one of those blinds, let's say during turkey season, it's great, or under a tree right next to it here. Makes a great turkey hunt. And so then what I do is I let it get up, and about that May or June time, about the time that I'm planting my fall food plots, or maybe a little before, I'll come out here and I'll spray the clethodim on it, take the rye back out of it, and let the clovers prosper all summer long when they seem to grow the best, right? And then in the fall, I come back in and put a bunch of rye back on it again, and we have a very attractive plot, and we're building so much soil. There's just so much about rye, right? I'll take you for a walk here, guys, not get too far away from the buggy here. We've got some doe bedding right over the hill, and we don't want to get too carried away here. But you can see a lot of good, if you can see that, flip you around. So it's very spotty, right? But that's one of my faults on here. So like I said, don't use that Butarac, that 2,4-D and your clethodim at the same time. But what I wanted to show you here, guys, is this shot plot actually has a water hole on it. So sometimes you can put those water holes on them, sometimes you don't want to do that. But this one here, great south wind, early season, bunch of deer bedded down below, come up into here, hit this. That's these roads right here kind of go away when I do the rye. It's just how it is, rich country, right? In the perfect world, we wouldn't be driving through the center, but this is a main ridge out here, so everything's got to be, my food plot's divided and yada yada yada. But early season, PM shot plots, early season anything, right, is so powerful. There's 2 times of the year that I see a lot of giants. This goes back to days of guiding and stuff, right? But a lot of giants fall, early season and late season. So if you have one and he just happens to be a good early season participant, right, feeling comfortable, got the farm set up, go after him. So that's what we're doing today, guys. We're, like I said, doing the rye. Got the rye, cereal rye, not annual ryegrass, cereal rye, guys. Don't be putting ryegrass on your food plots or anything, unless you want to spray a bunch of chemical to take it out next year. I wouldn't recommend it anyway because I don't eat it. But got a bunch of rye, got the buggy, trying to be, leave them, the buggies running, muffle the sounds, attack your shot plots and rye, no matter what you got in there. It's already established now. If you don't have anything, if it's new clover, then maybe I'd let the clover mature before I dose rye, so you don't overpower it, because it is very overpowering. But if it's already established, whether they're weak or strong, throw the rye on them, guys. Make a magnet, have a good early season opportunity, and by all means, like I said, don't overlook the power of an early season sit on a shot plot. Just remember, there's a difference between all them big beautiful trees down in there that we could be sitting on that food plot, and there's probably a couple of them, because of the way it lays out, that I could probably get away with it quicker. That big old cottonwood on the end down there, I could probably get away with sitting on top of the food plot, guys. But you won't find me doing that. I'll be sneaking in the back door of this one. There could be deer out in that food plot, and there is a lot of times when I get it in an evening, or I leave it, that food plot's full of deer, and I can do it again a day after if I have to, because they don't know I'm there. And you can do it all season long. The further you get into the pre-rut and the rut, the shine kind of wears off from those, right? Because they're in the timber, they're doing a lot of cruising. But if your shot plots are secluded, especially if you got water hole on them, I find that this situation right here, the better it gets, the better the farm gets, the better I can get the soil, the better I can get these shot plots. These shot plots stay pretty productive all season long. So don't overestimate the power